Welcome back to another Quick Truth. My name is Derek Truesdale, and this week we're going to be covering the fact that we need to be ready for the battle of Christianity. And we need to stand firm in the truths that we already know. We find that Paul teaches us this in Ephesians 6, verses 10 through 13. Those verses say, "Finally, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand firm." You'll notice that he begins these verses by saying finally, and that's not saying that this is the last idea, but is this final set of ideas. So he's saying this is wrapping up the whole book of Ephesians. This is the last idea, and it's really taken in the context of the entire book because it's progressed up to this point. So he's saying, finally, this is what I'm telling you now at the end of the book of Ephesians. And what he says is that we need to be putting on the armor of God, preparing for the battle of Christianity, because he compares this to an actual battle. So Paul's in the context of Rome, and Rome is a great superpower. It's becoming an empire in his time, and it's because basically their military is so good. The military can defeat any other military. They prepare their military better than any other, and they can win these battles. So whenever they go against the fight, they can win the battle. And that's what Paul's saying our Christianity needs to be like as well. Our Christianity needs to be prepared. We need to know what we're doing. We need to be in the fight. So, for instance, if you see a military and they train, and then it comes to time to actually have a battle, and they say, I don't really feel like going to the battle today because I'm kind of comfortable in these barracks. I just want to stay here. I don't want to go out and do the battle. That would seem strange. That's kind of how Christianity works, sometimes today, because in the church, we have a good time. We have the kids are having a good time in the kids clubs, and we're learning with our friends, and then we just go about doing that stuff. But then when that battle comes, it's time to actually go out and do the things that Christians do. Like, I'm kind of comfortable here though. So we need to be, plugging into the actual battle, where the battle is, going out and do those things. We prepare in the church to go out and do the things that are out there. And he's telling us to be ready for that battle that's out there, because it's there, it's existing, it's happening. Are we ready to go out and plug into it? So he's saying to do that, to be ready, put on the whole armor of God. And he goes in the later verses and explains he says what each piece of armor is, and the fact that we need to have them all on together and have it all a part of our lives so that we're ready for that battle and ready to get into it. But he says we're not defending only against flesh and blood things, but we're defending against the whole spiritual system of things. And it says in a couple of different places in the Bible that the devil and his minions and all the followers, they have like a setup of things, that the way that they kind of influence the world, and they're ruling over things in the world. And the fact that that's there is intimidating, but the fact that God is on our side, on the Christian side, that's encouraging. So whatever they can do, whatever the devil, whatever the evil forces, spiritual darkness of this present time can throw at us, we're prepared because we have God on our side. So how prepared are we with God? How much are we putting into that? How much effort are we putting into our Christian walk to be putting on the spiritual armor, to be ready to fight back? So Paul's telling us, be able to defend against the spiritual warfare that's out there. Be preparing yourself. Be ready to fight back. And we look at this final word here. It says stand firm. And it reminded me of a book that I'm reading for one of my ministry classes that I'm taking to prepare. And the book is called Stand Firm. And the class is called Apologetics. And it's basically just giving a defense for your faith. Apologetics is that, giving a defense for your faith. And it's defending Christianity against all the other faiths that are out there and different ideas. So you have postmodernism, you have any other faith that's out there. You want to be able to defend your faith against those other beliefs, because they can come at you and say, well, this is what we believe. What's your answer from Christianity? If you don't have one, you're caught unprepared. You don't know, how to answer that. So you have to kind of understand what they believe and then have a counter from Christianity. And how we do that is, preparing and putting on the armor of God, being ready to fight against those things. So what we've seen here today is this is the final set of ideas in the book of Ephesians. Christianity is a war. We have to be prepared, and then we have to go out and actually be a part of the battle, because it's out there, it's happening. Are we in it? We can choose to stay out of it, or we can choose to actually get in there and really experience, why we're putting on this armor. Why are we doing this? we see it when we get plugged into the actual battle. And next week we will start to move through the different pieces of armor the way that Paul explains it. The breastplate and the sword. We take on all of these things and have them all on at once so that we're really prepared for when the battle is happening. This has been another Quick Truth. God bless, and I'll see you next time.